Sir Topham Hatt's Ride. Summer on the island of Sodor is a very busy time for all the engines. Holidaymakers come from far and wide to visit the island. The engines take them to all sorts of places. Toby likes to take them to the seaside. Donald and Douglas like to take them to Lord Cannon's castle. And Percy is happy to take them to the airfield. One day, Percy was taking holidaymakers to the airfield. They were going to have rides in the hot air balloon, and Tiger Moth was going to be putting on a display. Percy was excited. He was happy for the visitors. Harold was nearby. Percy called over to him. "Hello, Harold," he called. "What are you doing?" "I'm waiting to start my patrol," said Harold. "My engineer is checking me over." "Aren't you going to stay for the display?" asked Percy, "and watch the visitors ride in the hot air balloon?" Harold smiled at his friend. "I would love to," he said, "but patrol work is very important. It's my job to carry out the patrol." Then Percy saw something very surprising. It was the Fat Controller and Lady Hatt. They were talking to the hot air balloon pilot. Percy was puzzled. "Why is the Fat Controller here?" he asked. But before Harold could answer, the Fat Controller came to see Percy. "Good morning, sir," said Percy. "You look different." He was trying not to sound silly. The Fat Controller laughed. "It's my day off today, Percy," he explained. "So Lady Hatt and I are going for a ride in the hot air balloon." Percy was excited to hear this. "Have fun, sir," he said. "Thank you, Percy," said the Fat Controller. "After the ride is finished, I would like you to pick us up from the airfield." "Yes, sir," smiled Percy. Then the guard blew his whistle and Percy puffed out of the station. "Goodbye, Harold," whistled Percy. "Goodbye, old chap," smiled Harold. Percy puffed along the line, feeling pleased for the Fat Controller. "He works so hard," he thought. "He deserves a day off to enjoy himself." Percy reached the track by the canal. He saw Thomas up ahead dropping off passengers. The passengers were having a wonderful time. Some were fishing, some were rowing boats, and some were having their holidays in the canal boats. Thomas was feeling a bit bored. Percy pulled up to his friend. "What's wrong, Thomas?" he asked. "I can't go anywhere until the Sodor maid returns," explained Thomas. "The holidaymakers on that are coming for a ride on my branch line." "That sounds exciting," smiled Percy. "But it's boring waiting here," said Thomas. "Don't worry, Thomas," smiled Percy. "Just be pleased that everyone is enjoying themselves." Thomas began to smile. He knew Percy was right. "Even the Fat Controller is having fun today," Percy added, "because today is his day off." And Percy told Thomas all about the Fat Controller's plans to ride in the hot air balloon. Thomas was intrigued. Meanwhile, at the airfield, Lady Hatt was having doubts about the ride in the hot air balloon. "I don't think this ride is a good idea," she said. "It's nothing but trouble." She was remembering the time she and the Fat Controller rode in the hot air balloon to the grand opening of the new station on the narrow gauge railway. But the hot air balloon's flame had gone out and they ended up crashing into a tree. "That was a long time ago," said the Fat Controller, "and this time the pilot is making sure the balloon is safe before we go." "I do hope so," sighed Lady Hatt. "I don't want anything to go wrong." "It won't," smiled the Fat Controller. "I'm sure it won't." Then the pilot returned to see them. "We're all ready to go," he said. "Would you kindly step this way, please?" The Fat Controller held his wife's hand and they walked towards the balloon. When they were ready, the pilot pulled a rope and they were soon in the air. Henry arrived to drop off more passengers to the airfield. He gasped when he saw the hot air balloon. "Whoa!" he puffed. He couldn't think of anything else to say. The Fat Controller and Lady Hatt looked out of the basket and waved to Henry as they flew. Henry blew a happy whistle and his driver and fireman waved to them. Soon, everyone on Sodor could see them in the sky. Molly was so happy to see them, she didn't see Gordon race past. Butch Breakdown was helping Caroline the car on the side of the road. Caroline looked up at the sky and smiled. "Look up there!" she beamed. Everyone looked and saw the red balloon floating happily in the sky. "Is that a sight for sore eyes?" smiled Butch. "Never seen a hot air balloon like that before," said his driver. Lady Hatt was now enjoying herself. The views were beautiful and very enjoyable. "This ride was a good idea after all," she smiled. "I thought you'd enjoy it, my dear," smiled the Fat Controller. Percy was delivering an empty flatbed back to the repair yards. He couldn't stop thinking about the Fat Controller and the hot air balloon. "I wonder how their ride is going," he said to his driver. Percy's driver looked around to see if he could see the red balloon, but it was nowhere in sight. "I'm sure they are having a fun ride," he smiled. "A ride in the hot air balloon can be enjoyable." Percy whistled happily as he puffed over the viaduct. Meanwhile, the Fat Controller and Lady Hatt were flying over Henry's forest. They could see Terence the tractor helping to plant new trees. As they waved to him, there was a loud hissing sound. The pilot gasped. "Oh no!" he cried as the flame went out. "We've run out of fuel!" Then the balloon began to drop. "Hold tight!" called the pilot. "Not again!" grumbled Lady Hatt. "Do what he says, dear," sighed the Fat Controller. They flew lower and lower to the ground. Then they heard a whistle. It was Percy. Percy gasped when he saw the red balloon. Percy could see the balloon was falling from the sky. "The Fat Controller's in trouble!" cried Percy. "We must rescue them!" "Follow that balloon!" said the fireman. So Percy chased after the balloon. As he got nearer and nearer, the balloon got closer and closer to the ground. Then Percy had an idea. "We'll use the flatbed," he explained to his driver. The driver agreed, and they went faster and faster. "Don't worry," whistled Percy. "I'll catch you." Percy puffed past the balloon and slowed down. "Steady, Percy," said his driver. "Take it easy." Then everyone watched as the balloon landed with a thud on the flatbed. The passengers in the basket shook for a moment. Percy's driver carefully put on the brakes and Percy came to a stop. "Phew!" wheezed Percy. "We did it!" The pilot didn't know what to say, but Lady Hatt was not impressed. The driver and fireman carefully wrapped up the balloon and laid it on the flatbed. Then they tied string around it to stop it falling off the flatbed. "Let's get you back to the airfield," smiled the driver, climbing back into the cab. So Percy set off once more for the airfield. He gave the Fat Controller and Lady Hatt a very smooth ride. Lady Hatt began to feel better. Soon they arrived back at the airfield, where lots of visitors were watching Tiger Moth fly through the air. Stepney was there collecting passengers. He was very pleased to see Percy. "Hello, Percy," he smiled. "What's that on your flatbed?" Percy told Stepney what had happened. Stepney was surprised. "That's not like the Fat Controller," he said. Then the Fat Controller and Lady Hatt came over to see Percy. "Percy, you saved us from a nasty accident," smiled the Fat Controller. "You fought quickly and got us down safely." "Thank you, Percy," smiled Lady Hatt. "You're the hero of the day." "And a really useful engine," added the Fat Controller. Percy felt very happy. He was happy to have saved the red balloon. The pilot sighed. He looked unhappy. "He'll have a lot to do before the balloon can fly again," said Lady Hatt. "Looks like we won't be flying again for a long time," agreed the Fat Controller. "And if you do decide to ride on the balloon again, smiled Percy, I'll be there to catch you if something goes wrong. Everyone laughed and laughed, and even Lady Hatt had to chuckle.